Microsoft's original Xbox One didn't have the best start when it launched in November 2013. Not only did it cost a pretty penny at $499, that's familiar, but it also had to contend with Sony's PlayStation 4, which launched that same month for $100 less. With those strikes against it, and Sony's formidable first-party lineup, the Xbox One quickly fell behind the PS4 in sales. But Microsoft is far from down and out. The company reported that its Xbox software and services revenue was up 21% in its Q1 FY 2018 earnings. Hardware sales, however, took a hit due to a decrease in console pricing. The Xbox One S, a slimmer replacement for the original one, costs just $250. But the One X could help offset those losses. The original Xbox One, which currently resides on the middle shelf of my entertainment center, was a huge machine. It dwarfed the PlayStation 4 and had a massive external power brick that you had to cram behind your TV stand. The One X's matte black, monolithic body fits perfectly into my entertainment center without looking obtrusive. In fact, I prefer its design to the rhomboid sandwich that is the PS4 Pro. So what does 4K HDR gaming at 60 frames per second get you? Well, that depends on the game you're playing. See, the Xbox One X isn't launching with any one marquee title. Instead, developers are updating existing and recently released games with patches that allow for 4K HDR games played at 60 FPS. Additional titles include Assassin's Creed Origins, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Middle-earth, Shadow of War and Titanfall 2. As for that performance boost, it's certainly there. Properly updated games look much smoother on the One X than on the standard one. It's almost like the difference between playing a game on a console and then playing the same game on a high-end PC. Movements are more fluid and you don't see any choppiness. But not all games will run at 60 frames per second, so don't expect to get the same kinds of benefits across the board. It's important to point out that all games that run on the One X will also work with the One S and original one. The visuals will be different, but otherwise, the games will be the same. If you don't have a 4K TV, you'll still see performance improvements with the One X, and Microsoft says it will use supersampling techniques, which downscale 4K images for 1080p televisions, providing enhanced visuals. The One X isn't even the only version of the Xbox One that offers HDR compatibility, since the $250 One S supports the feature as well. As for the $299 Switch, well, it doesn't have nearly the kind of power the One X does. It's like a Lamborghini facing off against a Corolla, but Nintendo's got Microsoft beat in portability. It doesn't hurt that the Switch has classic first-party titles and is also getting a good number of third-party offerings. Finally, Microsoft will be the first to admit the One X isn't for everyone. If you don't have a 4K HDR TV, you're going to miss out on the enhanced visuals, just as you would with PS4 Pro. And if you're on a budget, the $499 price tag is hard to swallow. But for those with a compatible TV, who want the best possible gaming experience, bragging rights among friends and have the cash to spare, the One X is a heck of choice. More from Dan, email Daniel@Dowley@, follow him on Twitter @DanielHowley.